You're listening to 101 with Tommie Zam. On the 65th episode, we sit down with Noam Revkin-Fenton, co-founder of We Skate Israel, to talk about skateboarding and life. Let's do this. Hey, what's up, Noam? How you doing?
I'm pretty good as possible.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what, 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. my time. What time is it over there?
It's 8 a.m.
Whew, man, that's you just woke up, basically.
Yep, woke up, had my coffee, and got up for this interview.
What kind of coffee you like to drink?
I have this mocha pot.
Mm-hmm.
I do my beans, and then I put it on the fire. Takes a little while, but it's nice. It's like a small espresso.
Okay. So you make your own coffee, right? I mean, you basically go to the store and buy your beans and stuff like that.
Yeah, I buy my beans and then I grind them at home and and do it in the mocha pot.
Hey, actually, that does sound good. I mean, I usually just go to like the, coffee shop and say, hey, let me just get like a chai tea or something, to wake up my day.
Yeah, try to get into like good coffee and starts your day better.
I agree with you on that. Well, some people know who you are and some people know. Just tell your full name and who you are, and we'll start from there.
So I'm Noam Revkin-Fenton. I live in Jerusalem, Israel. I'm 29. I started skating when I was 14. In the local skate park. It was a pretty broken up skate park. Been skating ever since. Around age 15, I started activism in skateboarding and pushed the municipality to build a new skate park, which was built in 2014. And now I'm the head of We Skate Israel, which is a nonprofit trying to promote Israeli skateboarding in all aspects.
Yeah, that's a good little bio right there. I like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back a little bit. So growing up in Jerusalem, Israel, what's it like?
So Jerusalem is a really interesting city since it combines all religions. And it's pretty tense because of that. But what's amazing in skateboarding is you get to meet all of these religions at the skate park and skate with them and kind of not talk politics and just meet the people. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty awesome, but there's tense times and there's times that your parents less want you to hang out of the house. And you end up skating at the basketball court, the closest to your house. But Jerusalem is an amazing city, also historic, and it has always been a very strong skate scene and dominant in Israel.
That's awesome. And you said Jerusalem is all religion. So I mean, where all religions go there. So that's basically like what, Muslim, Christian, Judaism, all types that live there, correct?
Yes, totally. We live here most of the time peacefully, and every once in a while there's a clash. But I think most people in Jerusalem just want to live.
Yeah.
And you see that, and we walk in the old city in Jerusalem in the Muslim quarter, and we eat hummus there, and we drink coffee there. And most people just want to live and earn their buck and raise their family.
That's awesome. And it's crazy that that you tell me that, or you say that sometimes parents won't let the kids go skate parks because of different religion or different things going on, so they make them stay in the house or skate. You have to skate the basketball court or something like that. I mean, that's to me, that's like, wow, that's crazy to hear, because you figure everybody will be all good together and just skate.
Yeah, the history of this country is not that we're good together, and there's been years with horrible terror attacks, and right now, let's say we're in this war, and there's sirens going off everywhere, and this country is kind of, everybody has some sort of PTSD. So it's, for us, it's very understanding that parents don't want you to go where there's no bomb shelter nearby, because any second there could be a siren and you need to run. And it depends where you are. You have different amount of times to get to the bomb shelter.
Man, that's it's scary to hear that, because over here in other parts of the world, we don't have that issue or that what's going on and stuff like that. So I mean, to hear that, what's going on over there, and that kids can't go out and skate because of something's going on. It's sad. That's scary. Not sad, but very scary to hear.
Yeah, definitely.
So, could talk about your skateboarding. So what got you into skateboarding?
I had this like skateboard laying around the house. My brother tried skateboarding a long time ago, and I had this board that the nose or the tail was broken. So I had a board without a tail, or used the nose as a tail, and I started like playing around with it. I've always been watching like the Extreme Channel and X Games and all the skateboarding contests, and like trying to understand how the physics works. How do you pop the tail and the board goes up? And I tried it, and a few of my friends were like skating, and we got this group of like 2 or 3 skaters that would just walk around with a skateboard and try to skateboard. And I think once you like do your first ollie, jump over like a Coke bottle or something, that feeling of like success, you can't stop. And then months of trying to kick flip, one leg, the front leg, the back leg, you can't do it. And then one night you're just like flipping and you land it and you're so stoked. Once I felt that feeling, it just kept on going. I kept on wanting a skateboard.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, that's it's so true. That skate. You watch all skateboarding on. Like me personally. I've been doing it for 30 plus years. So I remember seeing skateboarding. Seeing my brother skateboard, and and like watching skate videos, and wait till skate videos come out in magazines and stuff like that. And to hear that, how you grew up skateboarding is really different to what I grew up, because I mean, because you guys don't get that much, skateboard magazines over there as much as we do over here. Is that correct? Or
yeah, definitely. It's harder to get skate magazines. There were different times in Israel that we had a extreme magazine that featured skate, but that closed down probably before I started skating. Yeah, it's harder to get, even if you like do a try to get them. It takes months for it to get here, and stories of homies that ordered a VCR cassette and it took like a year to get here, and saw the skate videos like way later. But I grew up around YouTube, so I started seeing it, and Gili Skate Shop had a movie out already. So a lot of the local skate scene was what we saw.
Mm. So you didn't really experience that time when it took like a year to get us. That's crazy to hear that like you take a year to get a skate video. I was just like, wow, that's crazy to think that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You know, how many skaters are in Israel? We're a small country, and it doesn't really make sense for anyone to import skate video, because what will he sell? 50 records? That's not profitable.
No, definitely not. But I mean, it's good to get it out there so that way you guys can, you know, the Israel skate scene can get up on the, you know, the latest. I hate to say the latest trend of skateboarding or the latest trend of music and stuff like that, you know. So that way,
Definitely. So
you know,
once one of the guys got a video, he would pass it around, and everybody would see it, and they would hang out, and you would go to the local skate shop to watch the new video. Yeah,
that's
it's important to see other skaters, because it gives you ideas to what to do. And
do you remember your first video that you've seen?
I think it was Fully Flare.
Oh, hey, that's the best video right there.
Yeah, Gili Levy from Gili Skate Shop sat me down in the skate shop, and he was like, "You need to see this. Watch this." And I remember sitting in his small shop and watching the video.
Who was your favorite part?
Damn.
Got you on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember. I can't point out one of them.
Okay. And when you saw that video, what was your thought on it?
There was a lot of effects there, so it was really really awesome, and kind of like, wow, you could do anything with this sport.
Mm-hmm.
These people are crazy. Anything is skatable. That opening with all the explosions, anything is skatable, and anything is possible, kind of in filming.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely grabbing a homie and being like, let's start doing a skate video. Let's film something. And we would go out every other day and film something. It wasn't very good, but you know, enjoying that mission of going and getting a trick done is an awesome feeling.
Yeah, it definitely is. And that's cool that like that's what you grew up, or that's your first video to watch, you know, because it's, you know, to me, you know, Lakai Fully Flared was definitely like inspirational video to a lot of skaters from all around, not just America and just all around the world, you know, because that's, I think with their skateboarding and everything they did, it was just amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And you go back a little bit, you know, you were saying, you know, you would learn how to ollie over Coke bottles and you know, and watch people skate and learn tricks on your own. Do you remember the first time that you learned how to ollie? Like, what was your experience?
An ollie, I don't remember. Because I kind of feel like the skateboard was always around, so I always was like trying. I remember my first flip. I remember like 4 months working on this kick flip, and like not succeeding. And every time my back leg gets on the board, but I can't get my front leg on there. And just like trying all day long, ruining bunch of shoes. My parents being pissed off at me that I'm ruining more and more shoes. At a certain point, they were like, listen, we're buying 4 pairs of shoes a year. If you need more shoes, you're going to need to buy them yourself. And that one night that I was alone on the street outside of my house, and just kick flip it, and my front foot lands on the board. I pick up my head and look around, and I'm like, oh, I'm alone. And I'm like, yes, I did it. I can't believe I did it.
And did did you end up showing in front of your friends? Or did your
Yeah,
friends like didn't believe
you
you at
keep on
first, or like,
trying, you keep on trying and doing it, and the next session, and every time you kick flip again and land another one, you learn a little better and how to put your weight on right. Um, yeah,
and
and then you move on to the next trick.
definitely. And what's the skate scene like in Jerusalem or Israel? Is it like pretty big? I mean, give us a little example of like what the skate scene's like out there.
So the skate scene isn't huge. It's getting bigger. It always goes up and down, up and down. Um, so there's a lot of skate parks all over Israel. Um, really good ones, big ones. I don't want to throw out a number because I don't know exactly. But
But an estimate. What do you think off the top of your head?
uh, and it's hard to say. I want to say like maybe 10,000
Wow.
skaters. Um, including the new kids that bought a new board and are just starting in. They're not hardcore skaters.
Hmm.
But people with a board that go out skating every once in a while. Um, and the skate scene now seems to be in a very good movement, with better skaters that are getting recognized, that are competing abroad. Something with the social media and Instagram
Hmm.
is easier to get your stuff out there, and to get recognized for your tricks, um, for the way you skate. So
Hmm.
we've been having more skaters getting sponsored recently, um, and I feel always that if we have a skater that is getting sponsored, or let's say Jan Bachar that gets a shoe done for him,
Hmm.
that gives that 10-year-old that just started skating a vision that one day I could have my own shoe, which for years was kind of like in Israel, you can't really succeed, you can't become pro,
Why is
so
that?
because it's a small scene,
Hmm.
and companies um, don't really recognize you, don't want to invest in Israel, and the politics. A lot of companies just don't want to be here because the politics.
That's so sad to hear that. I mean, it's not around with you, but I mean, you know, I, TSM Media has been supporting Israel skateboard scene for 13 years. Because I met and talked to a lot of Israel skaters over before we started TSM Media, and they would tell me the exact same thing what you just telling me, and there's so many good skaters out there that are so good, and like you said, there's a lot of skate parks out there, and yeah, it's a small community, but to me, it's very sad that the skateboard industry doesn't recognize the Israel skate community, or doesn't want to put time and time to help out the Israel skateboard community, because you guys are so many good skaters out there. Every day there's always a new skater popping up, and I'm stoked to helping you guys out and getting you guys out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that there's people like you that are here to help us and to see us and to recognize us, and we feel your support. Um, and I hope it will change. I hope more contests and our skaters will be more dominant, and people are flying to Europe, and hopefully the right people will see them and they would want them in their team.
Yeah. And do your own opinion, what do you think the skateboard industry doesn't recognize you guys?
I think when you say Israel, the first thing is that you think is war and desert, and they don't want anything to do with that. And the industry, the skate community is small, and in the end, these companies are for profit. They're looking how to make profit, and if sponsoring someone from Israel won't help them sell more products, it's not worth it. But it's kind of what comes before what. If you sponsor people and promote the sponsorship in Israel, people will start buying it. And you need to make stars. You can't wait for people to be stars and then throw your product at them.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree and with that. I mean, it's definitely, it's such a, like I said before, you guys got such a good, strong, my opinion is a very strong skate community, and I see your videos, and, I talked to Ben Slama and Tomer and Jimmy and all those, bunch of other names that been on, our live show and done interviews with me, or we chit chat on, WhatsApp, or we call each other or whatever, and we talk about stuff like that, and we, whatever I can do or we can do to help promote, but it would like tell me about the skate scene out there and all the skaters out there just ripping. I mean, I've seen the videos. I post the videos on the site, and I see it, and it's amazing to see, and I'm honest opinion, honestly, I talk to the industry people, my friends and stuff, and I tell them straight up, I'm like, look, there's so many good skaters in Israel. You guys gotta like check this dude out. I'll send them a link, like, yo, check this dude out. This dude rips, or what can you do to help out this guy, and stuff. Prime example is Jimmy, dude, if that guy can make it out to the Tampa Pro or Tampa Am or anything out here, he'll be a star. People we be like, whoa, this kid rips,
Yeah, definitely. Jimmy is one of the sad stories of the scene. He really could have gone and get sponsored, and politics came in, and visas, and not enough support from the outside, from the international scene, and he stayed here. It's amazing what he's doing now, and he has crazy parts, and now he's teaching skateboard and like raising the next Jimmy.
The next Jimmy, I like that.
Yeah. And I think like we're moving forward, and hopefully there will be a breakthrough here. We have really good young skaters that have ton of potential, and hopefully more companies will come and invest in Israeli skateboarding. There's something in rural areas that are hard to live in that bring out the best skaters.
Mm-hmm.
Not only Israel. You look at Brazil. Those areas that are a little harder to live bring out the best skaters, probably because they're looking for a way to get out of their normal life, their hard life.
Yeah, that's true. And what does skateboarding mean to you?
Skateboarding is a community. It's there's this problem now with saying it's a sport. Is it an Olympic sport or not? But it's way more than that, man. It's a community, and it's an art, and it's a way to like get out of your mind and your shitty day. It's an outlet, and a great community, because the possibilities of people and different people that you meet through skateboarding. I haven't seen anything anywhere else that you could meet so many people
Yeah.
that are so different from you.
No, it's definitely true. You know what I mean? Like skateboarding, skateboarding is a huge community. We all look at each other as skateboarders. We don't look at each other as, hey, you're different from a different country or a different religion. And I mean, there is politics in skateboarding, but generally the general skateboard community don't look at each other. It's like, hey, you ride a board? Cool. Let's jump on it. Let's go skate together. Hey, let's go do something fun after skateboarding. Let's go grab some dinner or something, or hey, let's go travel together, do something, that's what's cool about skateboarding.
Yeah, definitely. Like anywhere I've went around the world with my board, you just go to the spot and start skating, and you have new friends. And that's awesome. I think there's something in skateboarding that there isn't in anywhere else, that you see a skater and you see him do like this rad trick, and you won't like look at him and judge him. The first thing will be like, hey, yeah, man, that was awesome. And it doesn't matter if you know him or not. So.
Well, it's true. I mean, that's how I met a lot of my homies. They're still friends. One of the other co-owner of TSM Media, that's how I met him. It was right out here in Pacific Beach. I think it was like 95, 96, somewhere around there. And him and his other homie, Steve, were skating down the street on Mission Boulevard. And my place I was at was right on the beach, like right in the cul-de-sac of the beach. And I saw him skate, and I was like, yo, yelled at him. And it's like, yo, we're having a party later. Cruise on over. And you know what happened? We ended up being friends for 30 plus years. And on the business together. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's definitely true that, I mean, that's what, skateboarding is about. It's a lot of fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
And you say you did a lot of traveling with skateboarding. What's your most favorite place that you liked that you will always remember? So if you're sitting down with your homies and you're just chit chatting, you're like, yo, I went to, I remember the time I went to go check out this place, and this was what, what country or place that you always talk about?
One of the cool places I was at pretty recently, I think, was Malmo in Sweden, which blew me off, because there's so much skate spots that are built for skateboarding. The municipality there understands how important skateboarding is, and they build skate spots for skaters. So the local park with the benches will have a metal coping, and there will be a kicker in the middle of the park, or another spot where they just let the local skaters build a pool.
What?
So that was really cool to like see a municipality understand the importance or the benefits of skateboarding and just going with it, changing the city towards making it skatable, which is so different than what we see all around the world.
That's crazy, dude. I would never thought that. I have to go. I put it down on my map. I have to check that place out.
Yeah.
And how is the like, how are the people, the government or the police over there? I mean, are they really strict? They let you guys skate wherever you want to skate, or are they like over here where in America, they basically arrest you and give you tickets and put skate stoppers and shut you down? Is it that same over there, or is it a little more different?
No, it's a little looser. We don't really get tickets here. Sometimes the police come and just kick us out of a spot. If you go to like a private plaza, so maybe the guard will come out. But nothing like dramatic, like tickets or arrests. I feel like there's bigger problems in the country than a few teenagers skating.
Oh, I agree with that.
So, they'll kick you out. You might like get screamed out, but pretty much you could skate anywhere. And almost a lot of the cities have a nice skate park. So, but there's skate spots. Most of the places don't kick you out. There's the Golda spot that is right on a museum and a theater that everybody skates.
Yeah, that spot's sick. I see so much footage of that, and it reminds me of EMB that was used a huge skate spot up in San Francisco, where it was like the gathering spot, like Love Park. That's what to what people don't know what Golda is. It's like Love Park or EMB. It's awesome skate spot. So many ledges and so much things that go down there.
Yep.
And what other cool skate spots you guys got?
What other skate spots? Jerusalem has some awesome skate spots because the city is like also so old. So you could go onto the old city, and there's this like roof that is a gap to bank sort of thing, and you see the Golden Dome there, which is awesome and very scenic. There's the Lisa spot, the quarter pipe, you probably know.
Yeah.
Which is getting renewed after WeSkate has asked the municipality for a long time. So they're working on it now.
Good to hear.
Very mellow. We're not going to make it a skate park, but nice concrete flat towards there.
And who builds your skate parks out there? Do you have your own like skate, like kind of prime example, like New Line skate park? That's one of the biggest ones out here that builds all the skate parks around here. Do y'all have like your own, skate park companies, or do y'all like have like local companies outside of Israel to come in and build parks for y'all?
So companies outside of Israel come in and build them.
Okay.
Usually there's the Israeli contractor that gets the job, and one of the one of the things you have to do is bring a company from abroad that knows how to build skate parks. So all the skate parks are very high quality. And they're
That's cool. That's cool to know, because I always wonder, because I mean, you guys have like what, 50 skate parks, 100 skate parks around Israel or something like that?
Probably closer to 50. Yeah.
And your skate parks are amazing. What to the audience, like their skate parks, I mean, are just straight awesome. And there's that one I always see footage that had a lot of graffiti in it and stuff. That park looks fun.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Galit. That's the first skate park in Tel Aviv.
Okay.
Yeah, we started off with a very big skate park and a very like professional skate park. So all the cities around wanted to like compare themselves to that skate park. So we ended up having a lot of big skate parks. Jerusalem has 3 skate parks.
3? Wow.
Yeah, the one of the things that after we guys pushed for the skate park in Jerusalem is that the municipality really understood that they need to support this thing. So our first skate park in Gansakar that was built in the 80s was demolished, and then they built a small like street skate park, which is really awesome. Like small rails, small steps, mellow, very fun. And then in the totally other side of Jerusalem, there's like a pool skate park. So more and more cities are building more skate parks here, and that will just grow the scene and get us known, I hope.
Yeah, dude, that sounds awesome. And real quick questions for the audience. So how far is Jerusalem to Tel Aviv? Like, well, what's the distance? Like, how many hours?
Jerusalem to Tel Aviv is under an hour.
Okay.
There's a new train now that is like 40 minutes. And if you take your car, if there's not bad traffic, it will be an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys are what, south or north of Tel Aviv?
We are south.
Okay.
It's like right in the middle of Israel.
Okay. All right, cool. So it's not like, like here, like, if we want to go to, LA, from San Diego to LA, we have to get up at like 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning just to get to LA to beat the traffic. Because usually it takes like maybe an hour, 2 hours, but with traffic, it takes like at least 6 hours to get to LA,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No, we don't really have that. If you want to go all the way south to Eilat, it will take you 4 hours.
Okay.
From Jerusalem, it's about 4 hours both ways, both directions to either side of the country.
Okay. So basically like to get to other parts of the other cities, it's basically what you want to say, like an hour difference from Jerusalem?
It depends where, but if it's in the center around Tel Aviv, it will be an hour, a little less than an hour. Yeah, it's an easy ride, and slowly there's more public transportation, so also the younger kids could do it.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. You guys, that's cool too, because I mean, because you have like your Jerusalem skaters, and then you have your Tel Aviv skaters, and you have the other city skaters. And it's cool that you guys live so kind of close together where you guys can just meet up, jump on a train or drive or whatever and meet up at different spots and stuff like that. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, definitely. So the community is very like small, and we all know each other. So like I know the homies from Haifa that is about 3-hour drive from Jerusalem, and the homies from Eilat, and we're a strong community that we know each other and we support each other, and it's pretty awesome. You could get skate sessions, like you said, from other cities.
Yeah, you just throw your backpack on, throw a little lunch in there, and you're set.
Yeah.
But that's cool too. Another thing that's awesome too is that I noticed that with Israel skate community is you guys, I know we were off a little bit, but we talked about how the industry and stuff like that doesn't support you guys. A lot of brands don't do that much, but I noticed that the Israel skate community now has their own board brands out there, their own grip tape companies. They're doing their own stuff. I mean, do you feel that that's helping you guys out more?
It's definitely helping us out. There's Spicy Grips, Gil Kessler, shout out, and Briza, the wheels. And having these local brands is helping the scene, and having small events for kids, and giving that feeling that there's a company that sponsors you. They're very small companies, and I'm not 100% that they're very profitable. But they're ours, and we love supporting our own community. So instead of having some like brand grip tape, we have our spicy grip tape, and instead of having brand wheels, we have our Brisa wheels, and our local skate shops boards. You know, we rather buy from local brands that support us, that have events, that sponsor us, that help us out.
And, and honestly, that's so rad to hear because, I mean, I don't know about other world, but here in America, it's not like that. It's a push to get people to, support your local skate shop, support your local brands, and support that. They rather go support corporate America. And it's rad to hear that, the Israel skate community supports their local scene, their local skate shops, their local brands, and support it. And it's so rad to hear that because don't get me wrong, there is some people that do support your local skate shop and your local skate brands, and we call them smaller brands and stuff like that. There's a few, but the majority of the public, they just out here they just care about what's next, what's popular, or what's cool, or what's what corporate skateboard magazine is pushing right now, or who's paying what, and it's sad. And I wish, in my opinion, I wish a lot of people was like, the Israel skateboard community or other skateboard communities out there in the world who support their local brand, and I think that's amazing to hear that from you.
Yeah, I'm painting like a perfect picture. Of course, there's like problems, and sometimes it's cheaper to order online. It's not like everybody's supporting, but when you have the manager of the company come into skate sessions and you see the person, it's easier to feel a part, and these brands are really supporting the scene. So I feel like the scene is supporting them back.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like skate shops in Israel, or during this, I'm talking a little bit about this, but do you feel the skate shops and local skate brands are also hurting right now during this the chaos that's going on right now?
Yeah, definitely. You
And,
know, definitely when you the like hilly way is like you had COVID and everybody bought skateboards and just tried to figure out how to like get out of the house, because if you do a sport, you're allowed to get out of the house, you're not quarantined. And then so everybody was skateboarding, and then it kind of we came back to what we're used to. So skateboarding went down a little bit, and I think during war everybody stops what they're usually doing. I said that parents less let kids far away from the house, so they skate less, and less people buy from skate shops. I think everybody here is hurting, kind of, because also you can't skate, and so you can't support, and there's a little bit of fear what's going to happen. So not everybody is running to uh, spend their money,
mm-hmm.
and parents probably don't want to spend their money. So we're trying to support, and if you're hearing this, go to your local skate shop and buy a board, even if you don't really need it, just to help them out.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, my opinion is skate shops are the root for skateboarding. If it wasn't for skate shops, you and me wouldn't be talking. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be no Nigel Houston, or wouldn't be no Zion skateboards or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I mean, supporting your local skate shop is a huge thing. It's a root of all skate. It's the root. It's the brain for skateboarding.
Yep. Yep.
And a little bit, I want to talk about, you're a skateboard. You started a skateboard nonprofit, We Skate Israel. How did you come about that?
So, we around probably 2018, there was no skateboarding organization in Israel. There was a conversation around the Olympics and how do we make sure that skateboarding stays with the skaters during the transition of going into the Olympics. And a few homies came up to me and were like, "Yo, let's try to do this." So we opened the nonprofit. We tried to become recognized as the Israeli Association, and failed. And then we kind of like recapped and said, okay, we opened this nonprofit to help and support the skateboarding scene, and we don't need anything to do with the association to help the skateboarding scene. And we started thinking about what are the important things that need to happen in Israel so skateboarding will keep on moving forward and will grow. And we started doing a few projects. We have a yearly contest, big contest. We send out skaters to competitions in the world, to Mystic Skate Cup, and we've been working with the Border Live, which is a judging system, trying to get one step forward and get the skaters used to real competitions. Because what we kind of had here is that pen and pencil competitions where it's pretty sketchy. There's a place for that, and I think like skate shops should definitely keep on doing these like smaller events, a little more sketchy events, and then we need the younger group that is about to go around the world and skate and compete to have that feeling of professionalism. And we've been doing in all our contests, we have equal come on, I lost the word. It's the first time I lost the word in this interview. I feel good with myself.
You might need to take that little coffee.
So we have equal awards for men and women, and we're working hard to support the women's skate scene. We're working with the JSG, the Jerusalem Skater Girls, to really get this women's skate scene recognized and stronger, and to feel more comfortable to go to skate parks and skate and not feel afraid. And like I said, we've been working on local skate spots, the Lisa, that quarter pipe, and trying to figure out where we need help and how the best we could help. One of the homies that is doing now skate lessons for refugees from the Gaza border put up a post that he needs gear. So we collected gear, and I drove down there to get him some skate gear. We say We Skate is skaters for the skaters. So whenever we hear that there's skaters in need, we try to figure out how to help them.
That's awesome. That's definitely awesome to hear. And you said the Olympics. So do you feel the Olympics is going to help the Israel skate scene, or do you think it's kind of like, are people like kind of against it, or what?
I think what is going around the world is exactly what's happening in Israel. There's people that are for it and people that are against it. The way I see it is the Olympics could bring in money. And as long as the money goes to the skaters and is not going to different areas, the Olympics could benefit us. The problem is that these organizations, also here and also in the world, take the money from the skaters and not necessarily give it to the skaters. So, I understand both sides: the people that hate it and the people that want it. We have skaters that have put themselves as a mission to get to the Olympics. And just like when someone gets a pro model shoe and that young kid looks up to him and says, wow, that's possible. I want to put myself 100% of myself into it to get that pro model too. If there will be someone in the Olympics, if he gets a medal, that will just like explode the scene here and will help more people know skateboarding. And we need to figure out how we take that momentum and keep it in the good area and keep it in where what we talked about in the reason we love skateboarding.
And I noticed when the Olympics came out, they didn't, Israel skate scene wasn't in the Olympics. I mean, I thought, in my opinion, I thought they were working. I know there's all these different, world skateboard contests and all this stuff and everything. Why wasn't, in my opinion, my question is, why wasn't Israel put into that? It was, to me, it was mostly like Brazil, Japan, and the United States, and then European companies, but not Israel.
So in the end, the Olympics is about how good you are and how many contests you won. It's about world ranking. And since the Israeli organization, the roller organization, has not done enough competitions, the ranking of the skaters wasn't high enough to get in. So I think now we see skaters working harder and flying out to international competitions to try to get into it and try to get high enough score. I hope they'll get a high score and we'll see an Israeli skater.
Hey, I'll be stoked to see that. I'll be stoked to see that, because I was curious, because I was like, why isn't Israel in Olympics? You know what I mean? They're in there for other sports, but not for skateboarding, and there's so many skateboarders out there that rip, but I was always curious about that. And you said that you failed the first time you tried to do this. What happened? Sorry if I ask.
It's a little bit going into the politics and
okay.
the
Olympic
politics, but basically you need to get recognition from the International Skate Committee. And in Israel, there was a roller skate association, which in the world, the Roller Skate Association took over the skateboarding. Basically, they got it. They got the recognition, and even though we worked hard to get the recognition, they got it, and they're doing what they think is needed to be done.
I know exactly what you're saying. Because my mind is like, what? Roller skates? What? How's that representing us skateboarders? Or you know what I mean? How's that representing skateboarding? It's roller skating. But anyways, yeah, I get what you're saying. I totally get it, and that's where I come as like, that's just everybody just trying to jump in and make some money, and that's what I
Yeah.
look at it as, and that's why, me personally, talking to Gil and talking to Ben, talking to Jimmy, talking to all the homies, and what's been going on, and I've been talking to them like, what can I do to help out the Israel skateboard scene? What more can I do? And with the what's going on right now and stuff, and and that's what I came, I was like, I want to help out a nonprofit organization that's in Israel that's focused on skateboarding, that will help out the skateboard scene. What can we do? And they all said, We Skate Israel. They do a lot, and they do contests here, and they work with people and stuff like that, and and that's where I'm at right now, is to do what we can do, what I can do over here to help you guys out the best I can do.
Yeah, man, and we feel it. We really feel it. And if anybody else that wants to that's hearing us, that wants to donate, we have a T-shirt out now.
Yep.
Shalom Clothing, collab with the magazine and us, and that will be an awesome support to Israel skateboarding.
Yep, and 100%. And the proceeds do go to We Skate Israel. It doesn't go in my pocket. It doesn't go, honestly, I don't get, nothing goes to me. Salam gets, a small amount, but 18% of it goes straight to you guys, straight to We Skate Israel, to help out the skate scene, and not just only the skate scene, but also help out other people too, that's going on during this chaos,
Yeah. And that's awesome, and like through really these hard times that I think every Israeli in some sort of way is affected by it, and knows someone that knows someone, or knows someone that was killed or kidnapped or succeeded to survive from the music festival. Seeing you guys coming out and supporting us is really, really helpful, heartwarming, and really moving.
No, definitely. Thank you. I mean, it's just that, it's like I tell people, us Jews got to stick together. When one, it's not just only that, not because we're Jewish or anything, it's because that we're a family, we're a skateboard family, and we got to go out and support our family, and it's not just only skateboards. There might be people that might be not have food, or can't get to the grocery store, or can't buy clothes, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's to help out, and that's one of the questions that I got asked is, what is We Skate Israel going to do with this money? Are they just going to pocket themselves, or are they actually going to help out the community? And that's one of the questions I got on my DM about this, and so you're welcome to tell the person and the people what your idea is going to do is be.
So first of all, I'll say that nobody in We Skate gets any money. We're all volunteers, including me. We have thought about different projects we could do with this. It really depends on how much donations we get. We have skaters that have fallen in the war. We might see do something with that, something to commemorate them. Maybe something for the refugees from the Gaza border. It really depends on the amount of donations and what the skate community needs. Our ears are open, and we're connected to everyone, and we'll really try to understand who needs it the most and how we could get that to them.
Yeah, and where can, other than buying a shirt on salamclothing.com, where, if somebody listened to this and they want to help out, where can they go, or how can they help out?
You could contact us. We Skate Israel on Instagram. Yeah, that's a platform right now that we're at. Would love any help that we could get. Any help will help. Even used gear could go to some project.
Definitely, and that's one of the things that I noticed, that there's so many nonprofits and all around the world, but it's awesome, and I always wondered, that they get a lot of love and a lot of support by the industry and other skate communities and stuff like that. And one of the my questions is, and one of the things I've been thinking about lately is how Israel has a great nonprofit, We Skate Israel, and how can we get those industry and those people to get to support you guys as what you guys are doing.
Yeah. We have in the past worked with some big companies. Some of them aren't very interested in having their name on it. They're willing to support, and I hope we'll get more companies. And if more companies are in, our yearly contest needs funding. And also our yearly contest, it's not for profit, it's for really getting the skaters out, trying to fly them to competitions around the world, and trying to push the people that are doing the right thing, that are skating well, and that have that dream to be pro
and to represent Israel.
Yeah.
To represent the Israel skateboarder community, and one of the things I wanted to ask you said earlier, tell us a little bit about Jerusalem Girls Skate Crew.
So the JSG, the Jerusalem Skater Girls, is a group that has very quickly spread outside of Jerusalem. They're meeting out on a weekly basis, skating together. They have been our partners in all the competitions we're doing, and they're promoting girl skating and making it more comfortable for females to skate and to feel secure in skate parks and in sessions. Paula and Mayan started it years back, and we Skate have been helping them ever since. And they're an awesome group of ladies.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And do they have a website, Instagram, or anything like that?
They have a website. They have an Instagram, JSG, Jerusalem Skater Girls. They sell products. They have T-shirts. They have jewelry. They have wax that looks like a lip gloss. They're really, really cool. And supporting them is also supporting the scene, the women's scene in Israel.
Yeah, and let me tell you guys, I see these, I follow them on Instagram and repost their stuff and their videos and stuff like that. These girls rip, dude. I mean, they need to, these girls actually rip, and they have so much fun, and, they need to be entering, Exposure Skate. That's a huge girl competition. It'd be rad to get some of these girls out to that, or any huge skateboard event that's out there in the world. Definitely, don't shy on Israel skateboard community. They definitely need your support and help them out. 100%.
Yeah.
And before we take off, a couple questions. And I know we just said the website and everything. people can go to shalomsclothing.com to buy a peace shirt, or push for peace that is by, Shalom, We Skate Israel, and TSM Media, and they can go and purchase those shirts, and that can go, the proceeds go straight to We Skate Israel, so they can help out, the skate community and also the people who are affected by the war and stuff. But definitely go to that shalomclothing.com, and then. And one more time, where can people go and find you guys? We Skate Israel. Website.
On Instagram, We Skate Israel. We're active and answering messages. Yeah, feel free to write us.
Okay. And then the website, you have a website, correct?
Our website right now is dedicated for the contest we did a few days before the war started, so we didn't put it back to our website, but weskate.org.
Okay, cool. And then if anybody wants to donate boards or donate anything, they can just hit you up, email you, or DM you, or what's easier for you?
Yeah, DM me. We'll get in contact. Maybe transfer into email, and yeah, it will be awesome if there's more people.
Cool. You hear that, guys? Support, support a good cause, and definitely, look into the Israel skateboarders community. Go follow these guys, We Skate Israel, and Spicy Grip, and Zion Skateboards, and Gilly Skate Shop and Noise, and Dolores Magazines, and names go on and on, because these guys definitely need the support, and show them love that, these guys are out there skateboarding and doing what they love and supporting their local skate scene. That's awesome. And my last question to you is, what can you say to the world right now with everything that's going on? What do you want to say to the world, to the skate community, to the people? What do you want to say to them?
I think there's a lot of crap online, and people going both ways. Let's skateboard. Let's put our energy in skateboarding and loving one another, and just like zone out of all the bad news and the horrifying videos that are online. Let's skate together, and let's push peace.
There you go, brothers. You hear that, guys? Push peace, man. And Noam, thank you so much for coming on. And anything we could do, we got your back.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
All right, homie. Have a good morning, man. Drink all that coffee now.
Thanks.
All right, man.
Bye.